Hey everyone, and welcome to part 2 of how I've been fixing my back since I've had that bulging disc a few months ago. So yesterday we looked at sitting on the floor as a sort of entry point for starting to work your mobility, opening up the hips, stretching the hamstrings, things like that, everything that could possibly cause that tight back or that back injury. Today I'm going to look at some of the stretches that I did. Now, some of these might work for you, some of them might not. Obviously, if anything causes you any pain, stop straight away, okay? These ones helped me. We're looking at stretching out the hip flexors, the psoas, the hamstrings, the adductors, just everything around the hips really, and the hamstrings, which feel quite tight during the injury. And every time I seem to stretch them, it seemed to help ease the back off a little bit, okay? And again, like all these things, once doesn't just fix it, you have to do it over a longer period of time. This is, I think, almost been 3 months now since my back, so I still feel a little bit, but it's getting there. I'm still doing these things every day. Okay, so first stretch. I would find the wall, nice straight back against it, soles of the feet together, and it's just our butterfly stretch where we're letting those knees sink down to the floor, and I'm adding just a little bit of pressure to keep pushing down. Every so often I might push against that, just tense the muscles and then relax them a little bit further down towards the floor. Now you want to hold this probably for a minute, building up to about 2 minutes, but for start's sake, if you can make a minute, start there. If you can only make 45 seconds, start there and then build up on that, okay? So again, a little bit of pressure. If you had some dumbbells, you could put them on just to keep the pressure on, or just apply with your hands and let the legs relax towards the floor. Okay, so second exercise, the second stretch that I would use, and one definitely I think made some of the biggest difference, is the couch stretch. This one can be quite uncomfortable to start with, so take it easy into this. If you've got like a small stool, or I'm using this roller today just as a bit of support, then have something close at hand to do that. You need a bit of wall, a blank wall. You need some padding for your knees, so I've got a mat, but you could use a cushion or a pillow, something like that. We're going to have the tube ready there, the support ready. Both feet are against the wall. I'm going to take my one knee back into the corner of the floor and the wall. From there, I'm going to work my other leg up in front, and I can slide it forward through there. Once it's in position, I can support on that knee, or I can use my support. I'm just staying nice and tall. I'm not forcing myself too much to go back. I'm just letting it happen naturally as I come further and further up. This should feel quite intense across the front of the leg to start with. And to start with, you may just have to be here and work in from there, and slowly work your way to being up on there. Again, start where you're at. A minute would be good, and working up to 2 minutes at a time. Once you're finished, hands come down. I like to walk that leg back in and bring it through, and then go on to that other side. Okay, so couch stretch is the second one. And if there's any of these exercises you need to do, it's that one. Okay, if you've only got time for one, that's the one you go for. Okay, next one is, we're going to come close to the wall again, moving our bum as near as we need to, and then we're going to come round onto our back. Now, the closer your bum is to the wall, the more intense the stretch is. So one foot goes on, 90-degree angle at the knee, your other leg comes across, and the ankle sits behind the knee. Now you want to be pushing your hips towards the wall and slightly up. I also sometimes like to just give a little bit of pressure onto that knee, but nothing too extreme there. If you don't feel the stretch, then readjust, bring the bum a bit closer to the wall, come round, and then leg back up, and that feel much more intense. Again, a minute, work it up to 2 minutes per side on that one. And that's going to hit you right down the side of the glute on the psoas there. If they're tight, that one will really help to loosen that off. Okay, the fourth and final of the main stretches I did do lots of other stretches, but these were the four that really seemed to help the most, is lying hamstring. You need a rope or a belt or something for this one. You're lying on your back, bring the rope over the arch of the foot, leg as straight as you can. Try and hold as close to the foot as possible, keeping the leg as straight as possible, and it's just a gentle pull back towards the head. I'm feeling that stretch down that hamstring and holding for that minute, 2 minutes there. Again, if the stretch eases off, you just pull a little bit closer through. Again, both sides. Once you've done one side, hit that other side. Now, you don't have to do all these four stretches one after the other in one single session, although you can if you want, but you can do them throughout the day, once or twice. You can, even if you go through the list, you can go through it again if you've got time at the night. It's not going to hurt. If it does, and you get any sharp pain in any of your joints or your back, then please stop, message me, and we'll sort something out differently. Okay, I hope that helps, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for part 3 of how I am fixing my back.